Okay.
We're in? Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm Rob Pitts, the Chair of the Board of Commissioners of Fulton County. This is a special call meeting of the Board of Commissioners of Fulton County, and I'd like to ask the clerk to call the roll for purposes of a quorum. Madam Clerk?
Chairman Rob Pitts,
Present.
Commissioner Liz Hausman,
Present.
Commissioner Bob Ellis,
Commissioner Ellis indicated that he has a business issue, but he may be in and out.
thank you. Commissioner Lee Morris,
Present.
Commissioner Natalie Hall,
Present.
Vice Chairman Marvin Arrington Jr., Commissioner Carn.
Present.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Okay, would you call the roll for the mayors to see who's with us?
Yes. City of Alpharetta, Mayor Giblin.
Present.
City of Atlanta, Mayor Bottoms. Chattahoochee Hills, Mayor Reed.
Present.
College Park, Mayor Botley Broom.
Present.
East Point, Mayor Holiday Ingram.
Here.
Fairburn, Mayor Carhurst.
Present.
Hateville, Mayor Hallman. Johns Creek, Mayor Bodker.
Here.
Milton, Mayor Lockwood. Mountain Park, Mayor Steele. Palmetto, Mayor Bodie.
Here.
Roswell, Mayor Henry. Sandy Springs, Mayor Paul. South Fulton, Mayor Edwards. Union City, Mayor Williams.
Here.
Okay, thank you very much. Mayor Bodkin, Mayor Reed, how would you like to proceed from an agenda point of view today?
I would have liked to have proceeded with us coordinating an agenda before the call, but at this point, I have no agenda items.
May I speak, please? This is Vince Williams.
Yes, sir. Mr. Williams?
I'm glad to be on this call with everyone. I am quite disappointed that we didn't have an opportunity to move forward with creating an agenda. And part of one of my concerns with so many meetings and everything throughout the week, I did take it up with my staff. Had there been an agenda sent to us, and I was told, no, we haven't received an agenda. We just have a meeting schedule. So I reached back out to the county to make sure that I hadn't overlooked something, and was told that Ms. Greer shared that she didn't have an agenda, and I was instructed, shared with me by the county manager that the mayors were putting together an agenda. I apparently missed that discussion, colleagues. I don't recall us having that discussion about putting together an agenda, but moving forward, this is a great opportunity for us to move forward and put the past behind us and start working together and truly working together. It does none of us any good to be on a call today where we have no discussion outline. There are several things that we do need to discuss, such as transit and transportation. How do we continue to move forward in this pandemic with each city and the county? But certainly, you know, there are a number of things, such as the community service program that the county is offering up. Those are things we need to be talking about, ladies and gentlemen. But not having an agenda, that is derelict of our duty. And I say our, because we should have had this discussion before scheduling a meeting at 10 a.m. today, because many of us, I know I do, have many things to be doing rather than sitting here looking at one another without anything to discuss. So I'm going to shut up and allow this meeting to move forward, but please, let's don't do this again.
No, and
Commissioner Hall, this is Commissioner Hall.
Sorry.
let me just say this. I don't understand why we don't have an agenda. We have always had one in the past.
Yes.
And Mayor Williams, I saw your email where you were asking about an agenda and you asked our clerk, and you even offered up some suggested items that we should speak on, like elections in Fulton County, MARTA and future transportation goals, collaborative legislative and state desires for Fulton County and cities, and water, sewer, and infrastructure. So I'm trying to understand where we went wrong with moving forward with actually creating an agenda. I'd like for us to address that and have an answer for how we're going to move forward to ensure that we do have one before getting on a 10 a.m. Zoom. And
Commissioner, as a reminder, at the close of last meeting, I believe I suggested that your chairman work with myself and Mayor Reed, representing the North and the South Fulton cities, in an effort to coordinate an agenda in advance, and that Mayor Reed and I would take on the responsibility of coordinating with our fellow mayors as we have regular communication with them to ensure that we had a collaborative agenda in front of us.
okay, and so yourself, Mayor Reed, and the chairman never had that opportunity to come together and follow through on that?
No, we did not.
And I want to say something too. I mean, and if there's some, if I miss something, it may be possible because for whatever reason, I didn't get the meeting invite and didn't realize that we're scheduled for this morning until I talked to Mike yesterday afternoon. So, I then reached out to Jessica and did get the meeting invite, but I did not realize that may have been my miss from the South Fulton perspective because I didn't see the invite.
Well, I just
you didn't
want to
miss anything.
apologize on the behalf of Fulton County because the meeting is hosted by Fulton County, and as far as my own personal what I believe should happen, if you're the host, then you should ensure that everything is in place to make sure that the meeting comes off very well. So I apologize from the Fulton County side because everyone should have received the Zoom and everyone should have got an agenda. Yeah.
Commissioner, I appreciate the apology, and on behalf of my fellow mayors, we're certainly welcome the opportunity to have these meetings. I think at the end of the day, for me, and this will be the last negative comment I'm going to make, and then I'll move on. This is par for the course in how communication has happened between the county and the cities recently. We feel talked down to, we feel talked at, and we don't feel a collaboration and a partnership. And I'd like to use this and future meetings as that opportunity. One way we can demonstrate that is a better coordination of effort and a sincere partnership, and extending a hand that says, yes, the county's hosting the meeting, but it is our meeting, and therefore we will work together to develop an agenda of topics that we all want to talk about. And that can be done simply by whoever the designated person is from the county, coordinating with Mayor Reed and I until such time as our positions roll over to the next people. And we will ensure that we work with our mayors, since we obviously have a large group, to ensure that we've got that collective group of topics and listen to the county's topics as well.
Absolutely, I agree with that. And thank you so much, Mayor Bodker.
Okay, any other comments before I speak?
Well, I'd like to make a comment too, please.
Go ahead.
I agree that we're here together and it makes a lot of sense to develop a process. And we may designate one person on the commissioner side to coordinate with our mayors, but there needs to be some input from all of us. So, Mr. Chairman, before you begin to suggest something, I think it's prudent for us to, as a commission group, be allowed to or encouraged to bring forward topics that can be presented to the mayors in the agenda discussion as well, to make a determination of exactly what we're going to be talking about, because we do have a lot of important issues out there. Any effort to, have the hint of an impression that we don't value our cities is very misguided, because we do. And I want to make that very, very clear. We're in this together. We represent the same people. And I think we have the best interest of not only our cities, but the county in everything we do. And we really need to use these meetings to be productive and proactive. The citizens expect us to do that. And so I share the apology that Commissioner Hall brought forward. And I appreciate Mayor Williams saying we can do better, because we can, we need to, we have to. That's it.
There was someone else that wanted to speak.
I had one comment, Mr. Chair. Mayors, I concur with my colleagues in terms of apologizing for the slight, unintentional slight. I too think, obviously, we definitely need to coordinate more. I think these meetings are a good idea to have. One of the things I have been pushing for throughout this year has been the county taking on some type of a municipal affairs director position of some sort. With 15 cities and us being over 99% municipalized, I think it's something that we need to discuss and consider. I have brought it up several times, and I am going to recommend that coming up with our budget talks and possibly integrating that type of a position into the county structure to cater to our cities and address some of our concerns more directly. Obviously, I think our cities deserve it. As a former city council member and vice mayor of a city, I know firsthand how important it is to have that specialized attention from any intergovernmental relationship. So I'm going to push for that with my colleagues, and I'm hoping there's some support for establishing that additional position so that we're taken care of on these type of things. And obviously, it's been a busy couple of weeks, but I'll leave it at that.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes.
It seems prudent to me that if we spend the week prior to this meeting collaborating with each other and then taking the opportunity to have the agenda sent out either the Friday before, the Monday of the meeting, if we can just set that up and make that a part of the routine, it seems that we could avoid some of the issues that we're discussing today.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Yes, this is Vince Williams. I have one more comment. I have one more comment to make.
Yes, sir, Mayor Williams.
Because, when I sent out the information on yesterday, that email went to over 60 people, I believe. I got one response from, the only respondent was the county manager. Certainly, you would think, and I have to concur with the Commissioner Hall, the decorum in hosting meetings, that's the obligation of the host. So I would have thought that someone from the county, certainly the county manager or someone from the county manager's office would have at least acknowledged further information from me. Certainly everyone that knows me, I do my best to go out of my way to not only show you that I love and I care about you, but the message that I got on yesterday was, we're going to have a meeting. We'll talk to you when you get there. That was very hurtful to me. And I said I wasn't going to say anything about it, but I care about each and every one of you. And if we don't do a better job of acknowledging one another with respect and showing each other that we are willing to work together, this meeting and meetings going forward shouldn't even exist. If we're serious about this, we've got to change our whole mode of how we want to work with each other. Because what we're saying right now is we're resistant to making sure that we do better. And if we don't do better, we're wasting each other's time. So I'm gonna move on, but I just had to acknowledge my own feelings. So I appreciate you all for listening.
Can I say something? Because I'm getting texts from the public asking me where is today's mayor's meeting agenda and link and all of that. And it's quite disturbing to be getting these right now, did we publicly announce that we were having this meeting? And where can they find I mean, we know there's not an agenda, so I'm going to let them know there is no agenda, but where can they find the link? Just go to the county website.
I just got the Zoom link this morning. I had a YouTube link. Yeah, I had a YouTube link, you know.
I just got the link at 9:48 this morning as well, but where can the public find it?
Okay, I'm gonna, anyone else?
Yes, Chair Pitts is Mayor Ingram, and I want to not echo the sentiments, but agree with the sentiments of my fellow mayors regarding the disappointment felt by all of us getting together. We all have busy schedules for a time with no agenda. But I also want to say that I see this as an opportunity to shift from the history of overpromising and under-delivering to a place where we can actually come together and actually work together respectfully and respect everyone that's at the table. And so I'm sure the Chairman Pitts is going to share, respond and say what happened. We all are human. And so, to err is human, to forgive is divine. And I know that moving forward, that we have a collective sense on this amongst the mayors, as well as I'm hoping amongst the commissioners, to really move forward in a authentic way, or in an authentic working together, and not just saying it, but letting our actions speak louder than our words, because it's not just what we say. We had this discussion at our last meeting, and the plan was that Mayor Botker and Mayor Reed and the chair would talk and come up with the agenda with the commission's items and those concerns of the commissioners as well as the mayors. And that didn't happen. And I mean, we all coordinate meetings and understand how that can happen. But I'm going to try to remain the hopeless optimistic that we will be able to convene a mayor's meeting and not have to start in this way. Address again a promise that wasn't kept, and being in a situation where we are now all here together and having to have this type of discourse. And so hopefully this will be the last time. And like I said, to err is human, to forgive is divine, and where nobody's perfect and things happen. But at a certain point, and hopefully it'll be next month's meeting, we will be starting in a different fashion, starting this meeting in a different fashion.
Hey, anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, I heard 4 things, but since we are together, I do want to take advantage of while we're together to talk about a couple of issues, but let me just set the record straight. First of all, a schedule was sent out for the remainder of this year, as well as all of 2021, which should be on everyone's calendar. Number 2, a notice of this meeting, as will be the case with every meeting, was published as we normally do. Number 3, at the last meeting, and the meeting was recorded, there was some objection at the end of the meeting as to the agenda that was prepared by the manager. And the statement was made that we, Mayor Botker and Mayor Reed, would prepare the agenda going forward. And I'll send you a copy, each of you a copy of the minutes from the meeting. So those are facts. However, since we are here today and it has been a problem, I would recommend then that if Mayor Reed and Mayor Botker believe that the county should be involved in the preparation of the agenda now, which is different from what was said at our last meeting, I would recommend that Commissioner Hausman, Commissioner Hall, and Commissioner Carn work with Mayor Botker and Mayor Reed in preparing an agenda for us, if that's acceptable.
I would love to.
Happy to.
Mayor Botker, Mayor Reed.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Works for me.
Mayor Botker.
Works for me.
Okay. Now, so Madam Clerk, would you though, so that the record would be crystal clear, send an agenda, a copy of the minutes from the last meeting so we can confirm what I just stated. Now, While we're here, we have a few minutes. Mr. Manager, you and I talked coming down the hall. We do need to talk just briefly about transit in particular, where we may be going forward while we're here, even though there's no agenda.
You'd like for me to tee that up?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Should we not, for record keeping purposes, have an agenda, just approve an agenda to talk about transit?
We can do that. All
Or
right.
anything else? If there's any other topic that someone wants to have a discussion about, we could certainly add that as well.
All right, would you propose a motion, Madam Commissioner?
Before the motion, Chairman Pitts, I think, yeah, we all know how to amend agendas, but to start putting topics on this agenda today that we were not made aware of before we came, we just hear a presentation from the county about what they feel about transportation. Like we have not been given any notice about any agenda items that would be discussed today. And so if you're talking about doing a presentation or just sharing with us your position, I think that is more of the same that we're used to, where we come here and get talked to or talked at about what the county's position is. And so
What I was suggesting was
I'd like to know what the intention is of these items that you're now about to add for us to filibuster out.
Well, Mayor, let me just say that my statement was designed to not talk at you, to not just have the county decide that this is the only thing we're going to talk about, and just to offer up. I guess we're just having general conversation here, really more than any topics. I don't think there's going to be a presentation. If there is, I'm unaware of it as well. So I was just throwing out general topic information to at least have some sort of productive conversation here this morning. That was my only intent.
And I appreciate that, Commissioner Hausman. I do appreciate that effort in trying to clear up a mistake that happened, right? So we don't have an agenda, let's amend the agenda and create something. And I totally appreciate that and thank you for that. But my concern is if we start having an agenda and having topics, like there should be no expectation of any resolve or any real discussion unless we just want to just talk, right? And I don't mind just talking and we decide what the topics are going to be. But, the response was to the county manager, is he ready to talk about that? And I've received some regional plan around transportation and I know there are some different positions on that. So that is my only concern, but I do, and I'm gonna say it again, thank you, Commissioner Hausman, for your effort in trying to cure, what is happening and where we are right now. But, unless we're just gonna all decide what we wanna talk about today, what's burning on our hearts, like the election. Yes, I wanna commend the county on doing a great job between June and now on the election that just happened. I mean, it was a monumental difference. Voter access definitely improved. 80 new polling locations. So, if we want to start doing that, I want to start with that piece because that is critically important and that is not being tone deaf to what's happening in the world right now. But the county did an awesome job. There's always, I'm sure in debriefing, we'll be able to talk about some other issues, but I want to say thank you for that because I'm extremely vocal and we were extremely vocal about the desire to dismantle voter suppression and do all that we can. And I will say that the county did an excellent job in this election.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
This is Mayor Carhurst in Fairburn. I'm going to agree with Mayor Holiday Ingram. If the county wants to give us a presentation on transportation, I'm willing to listen to it today. I am not prepared to have an in-depth conversation about it. If we need to talk about community service, we can talk about that. We can talk about what happened during the voting this week. But I think it's a travesty that at this point, all the mayors are here and we don't have an agenda. I've been quiet just listening to everyone. And when I got the information, I was looking for an agenda. And so I wasn't prepared this morning to go into a conversation on anything. I was really on just to listen to what the county had to say to us mayors. I think it's prudent that we get together as mayors to talk about some critical issues that's affecting all of our cities before we come back as a group to meet with Fulton County. And so with that being said, I don't have a whole lot of time to waste this morning just chewing the fat about unnecessary items that we can save for another day. So if you want to make a presentation on transportation, T-Splosh, whatever you want to make it, I will listen to that. But other than that, I don't have any other input or comments to make.
Or just for clarification, there are no presentations to be made by the county today. And what I would recommend now, based upon what I'm hearing, I stated 4 things that I heard. I think I addressed each of those. There doesn't appear to be any disagreement. So why don't we adjourn this meeting and allow Commissioner Carn, Commissioner Hausman, Commissioner Hall to meet with Mayor Bodker and Mayor Reed and prepare an agenda, and we will reconvene at our next regularly scheduled meeting, which will be the first Friday, is that right? In December. Any objections to that?
No objections at all, Mr. Chair. That is certainly my suggestion as well. I do want to point to Commissioner Hall and Mayor Broom. You two are showing unity. You are in the same room. It's amazing just looking at both of you in the same room. So certainly we are on the same page. We've all just got to meet at that destination. So I just wanted to say that. Certainly, Mr. Chairman, I think that's a great idea. Let's enjoy our weekend. Let's continue to count and do what we need to do.
Amen.
Right.
Chairman, before we convene,
Adjourn.
okay, I must say thank you to the commissioners and to Dr. Pamela Rochelle for giving cities an opportunity to apply for grant funding to help our residents with financial assistance. So I want to say thank you on behalf of the over 30,000 residents of the city of East Point, the city council, and our staff for awarding over $250,000 to the city of East Point to make sure that we will be able to provide financial assistance in the form of rental, mortgage, and utility assistance to our residents during this unprecedented time of uncertainty. And again, thank you to Dr. Rochelle's leadership in extending this opportunity directly to cities. And thank you to every commissioner that approved the grant on Wednesday.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And Madam Clerk, would you make sure now that every member, even those who are not present today, receive a copy of the minutes, verbatim minutes from that last meeting? So without objection,